Any crisis is likely to be stressful, and that's going to have a really big impact on the way people behave. It'll have an impact on the way your team behave, and also on the way you behave. Now in the military, there's an old adage that in a crisis you should either lead, follow, or get out of the way. So that's useful, but it's probably not quite that straightforward in most organisations, particularly where you haven't got a clear chain of command. So I want to have a think about this simple model of behaviour. So we've got an axis here, and we can think about behaviour being helpful or unhelpful. So clearly helpful is good, unhelpful is bad. But then on the other axis we've got obedience and disobedience. So people doing exactly what they're told to do, or disobeying, maybe doing something different or questioning what they've been asked to do. So let's have a look at these different segments. So down here we've got unhelpful disobedience. So this is people actively doing the wrong thing. So if people are behaving like this is a serious problem. But as a leader, you need to ask, why is that happening? It might be that people are seriously unhappy. It might be that there's mental health type issues. They're exhausted, but there's something seriously wrong down here. So as a leader, you need to look after people and make sure they're not down in this section. Let's think about this section up here now. So we've got people who are helpful, trying to do the right thing, but always doing exactly what they're told. Essentially, they're not thinking for themselves. So this is really, really keen people who aren't necessarily thinking for themselves. So you maybe need to give them some guidance and give them the ability to start questioning a little bit. And then we come over here. So this is the area that's unhelpful obedience. And this is a real danger zone. So this is where people are doing exactly what they're told to do, even if they know it's not right, or even if they know it's going to have a bad outcome. So that raises the question, why would people behave like this? Usually it's because people feel like they're not listened to, they're not trusted, they are being badly treated, or possibly they fear reprisals. If something goes wrong and they've done something different, they carry the can. So this is a real danger zone that we want to get out of. And a sweet spot is down here. This is where you have helpful disobedience. So this is where people understand what they're trying to achieve, but are willing to question and come up with improved solutions for themselves. Now in normal life, this is probably where you want people to be most of the time, and it's where you should be most of the time, coming up with better solutions. In a crisis, it can be subtly different. Because of the pace that things move at, sometimes you might need people to be up here. You might need to say, I know there are other ways, I'd love your input, but I just don't have time at the moment. I really need you to just get on and do what I've asked of you. If that's the case, explain that to people. Don't risk making them feel unvalued and pushing them back here. You need to explain, this is short term, this is why I'm asking you, and then as soon as you can, bring people back down into this quadrant. And also, you can use this model to reflect on yourself. What am I doing? Am I leading? Am I following? Or am I constantly asking questions? Sometimes questioning is incredibly important, but if you're doing it too much, are you accidentally slipping from here to here? Look upwards, see what the people above you actually need, and make sure that you don't slip into this corner by accident. So, in a crisis, think about behaviour. If people are behaving in a way that is not useful, think about the underlying causes. What can you do to push them over to that helpful side and guide people? Should they be up here doing exactly what you ask, or do you want them to be empowered to make their own decisions? And think for yourself, am I over here? Am I being helpful? Or am I accidentally slipping into being unhelpful?